Hey guys, it's your girl KC. I'm out and about on my walk, and first of all, excuse me. I hope y'all doing well. By the way, I'm out and about on my walk. That part. I'm out and about on my walk, and I was in deep thought process, and so I was thinking about something. I had a flashback of when my baby brother and I was younger, and the seasons that we gone through. And I heard God said it wasn't all for nothing. And he said, go ahead and release the video and let them know. And I don't know who needs to hear this. If it's only one person, it wasn't all for nothing. Everything that you've been through, everything that you've experienced, every attack that you went under, it was not all for nothing. I was just reflecting about how I was, and how I was rebellious, and how I was a Jonah, and how I walked away from God at one point in my life. And I just felt like the dreams, the visions that he gave me of what he wanted to do with me, that wasn't going to come to pass because I'm a heavy sinner. And this period of my life, even though the enemy is basically saying otherwise of what God is saying over my life and speaking over me, God is reminding me that what I say is true. And I was reflecting on Gideon, and I don't know if you guys know who Gideon is, but Gideon is who they call the mighty man of valor. And I was just reflecting on my life and my brother's life, how God has removed certain people, kind of like when you have a garden and you want to make sure you weed up all the dead weeds so they don't spread. And it's like, as soon as he brought that thought to my mind, I said, God, that's so deep, because that's like our friends, or people that we thought were our friends, or the people that we thought were planted there forever. They were only but for a season, but you had to remove them, because if you didn't remove them, then they will become like those dead weeds that would then spread and would prevent the garden from blossoming in the way in which it needs to, and flourish the way in which it need to be. And that's like us. God loves us so much that sometimes we hurt at how the outcome of our lives turn out, and like, dang, God, like, what happened? And he said, no, but I had to root that up, or I had to remove that set of friends, or that set of people, or that job, or that atmosphere, you from that atmosphere, because it was going to damage you. And I love you so much that I want you to flourish and I want you to blossom. So I had to move the dead weeds from you, which are those friends. I had to remove the dead weeds, which maybe you being in that job atmosphere. And then he brought me back to Gideon, where Gideon became so weak and he became so weary, because it's like, God, but you want me to go and you want me to fight this battle, and you leaving with me with no men. And forgive me, number wise, and not being, I don't want to say politically correct, but yeah, politically correct of the numbers. But for instance, Gideon was going to war, and he was going up against 7,000 men. And if I'm not mistaken, God stripped him down to like, say 200 men, or even like 150. And he like, but God, what are you doing? Like, you told me I got this. Like, I could take this. Like, I could take them down. But God, I can't get through this storm, or I can't get through this with these little people of men behind me. And God sent. So basically, Gideon decided the tree. And Gideon decided, that's it. I'm going to stay at the tree. And I'm done. It's over for me. That's it. I'm going to just sit here till I die. But that's it. And God sent an angel to tell Gideon, I basically am the one who equipped you and called you, and you are a mighty man of valor. So if I'm giving you the power, I'm giving you the knowledge. I'm giving you the wisdom to get up and to go and defeat who you need to defeat. And you could get up and you could do it. And Gideon finally got courage. He wrestled with the angel a little bit, like, nah, I don't want to do it, or nah, this not for me, or nah, this ain't gonna happen, or nah. And he got up and he made it happen. And he defeated that giant of a war of an enemy with little to none people. But the whole thing behind it is that God wanted him to understand, I am removing the dead weeds, and I'm removing all of that because I don't want man to get the glory. So sometimes when God removes your friends, or he removes certain things from around you, it's like, but God, like, but I'm by myself, like, but I don't have nobody to lean on. He said, but see, if you had those people to lean on, I wouldn't receive the glory. If you had all those people to lean on, you will not win the battle. And even if you do win the battle, whose name are they gonna proclaim and lift up? I tell people all the time, I could be by myself. It's me and Holy Spirit. It's me and God all day. Because I could trust him. I ain't got to worry about looking over my shoulders. Because one thing's for certain and two things for sure. This right here. Right. That part. No. So, any of my Gideons out there today, get up. Which essentially, my mighty men and women of valor, get up. You don't need all those friends. You don't need all those distractions. That's earthly power. God is trying to show you something bigger and greater. That once you trust in me, you can do anything. So I just wanted to pop in on here. This is not edited, just like little thoughts. So forgive me. It's not polished. I was just on my walk and I decided to just drop an encouraging word. And just remember Jeremiah 29 verse 11. For he know the thoughts that he thinks towards you. Thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a expected end. Okay? And I think that version that I read, that I just recited, is from the New King James Version. But anyway, y'all, have a blessed one. I just had to be obedient by giving that out. Love y'all. Peace.